I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with an update on our Saturday forecast. Of course, it's a first alert weather day. We've been warning you about that threat for severe weather even after we had those storms roll through last night. We've had more this morning as we are looking out to the west. There's a lot of cloud cover out there too on our Skycam in Fargo. And we're looking at maybe some additional moisture here through the morning hours, but a lot of us starting to tally up the last couple of days through the morning. And there are lots of places that have gotten more than 2 inches of rain. Cooperstown, one of those places near Cooperstown, reporting more than 3 inches there, and more spots in that 1+ range, places like Fargo and Grand Forks even seeing some reports coming in now of 2 inches or more. Keep in mind, lots of flood alerts in effect. We've got reports in several locations that we have some overland flood happening, and that is going over some roadways and areas that are seeing ditches that are full of water. As of this morning, we've been watching that main area of rain and thunder kind of lift northward. There have been some areas of scattered rain and thunderstorms continuing on, but bigger breaks in between. And then out to the west, we're watching that moisture turn over to snow, and we've got that blizzard warning in effect for those folks there. So I want to point out the temperature difference here today for this afternoon. By 3 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 60s to some low 70s. This will depend on timing of storms. Once that rain moves over, it will cool us down a bit, but we've got that potential for 70 degrees, and then a sharp cutoff, and up by Langdon, up by Candu, places there in the 30s. So a huge difference between areas here, and in between we've got chances for rain and thunder. So let's time this out for you here today. So through the morning hours, we've been tracking and watching these thunderstorms moving northward. They continue to do so and kind of clear the valley. There will still be these pockets here and there through the morning, even into the noon hour, where we're not completely clear of rain. So it's not going to be suddenly dry necessarily everywhere in the valley, but we have better opportunities at getting some breaks. And temperatures again rising more into the south. You can see that strong wind, those red arrows moving very quickly out of the southeast, rushing in to warm us up. That will also bring in a lot more moisture. And again, if we can get some breaks in these clouds, you can see some here where we see darker areas and the satellite layer here. That's what we're looking at for the potential for severe weather. Sunshine really helps to heat things up, and that creates more instability in addition to all the other ingredients that are there. And if that happens, we have a greater threat for more intense storms coming up for the afternoon. This is where I pause the clock, 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. This particular model run shows that storm line developing and already moving through at that point around Valley City and down to the tri-state area where they meet up. This, of course, is a model scenario, so it could look a little bit different than this. Timing could be off just a little bit, but heads up that early afternoon, this could be firing for those of us in the south. This continues to move northward through the afternoon. This line continues moving north, and with it, we have the potential for supercell thunderstorms, and that would mean large hail, damaging wind gusts, even some isolated tornadoes. Now, this particular model, this is 6 p.m. rather, indicates that there could be another quick little round of rain and thunder, another line following that. We'll see if that happens, but the bottom line is afternoon and into evening is when the timing is that greatest threat for severe weather. Once that moves to the north later tonight, we quiet down for severe, and then our thoughts turn to snow. We'll talk about that in a moment. A look at our severe weather risk. Fargo, places in the southern 2/3, I'd say Highway 2 and point south in this yellow risk area. That's a slight risk, a level 2 out of 5. That's where we're looking at the greatest potential for storms that will turn severe, but everywhere shaded, at least in this green color, which is marginal risk. Maybe 1 or 2 severe storms, but still the potential's there. So everyone needs to pay attention. And here's a look at our risk factors. We're looking at not a great chance, but still there's a possibility we could see some isolated tornadoes. Again, if we see that sunshine developing here today. Large hail, 1.5 inches in diameter or more potentially. Wind gusts could get to 60 miles per hour. And of course, flooding possible. We're already seeing it. A lot of us are waterlogged. Add more thunderstorm activity to that, and it gets worse. So that's what we're dealing with in the eastern side of North Dakota. Out west, they have that blizzard warning, a foot of snow or more for some along the Montana border, 65+ mile per hour wind gusts. It's going to be awful out there again for those folks. And that winter weather advisory just on the outside of our viewing area. So let's talk about the snow. We've got the severe weather today. Let's start this at 11 p.m. You can see that chance for snow will start to migrate eastward into morning. This is 5 a.m. But we're still quiet into Minnesota, maybe seeing some rain there. You can see Fargo, Grand Forks might be still getting rain, but the snow will be starting up out to the west. Then this all kind of works its way in as that colder air filters into the system. And so by noon, a lot of places seeing some scattered snow showers potentially. Notice some of our eastern area never quite sees much of that because we're still on the warmer side of this system. So you may miss out or luck out with this system. And then those of us out to the west, that's the better bet for picking up accumulation. In addition to that, it's going to be windy too, so we'll have to watch out for some blowing snow too. Accumulations, I'd say about 2 inches or so in Devil's Lake. The rest of us getting a light dusting. We'll have to pay closer attention. Notice our temperatures are going to be near freezing or even above during the day on Sunday. And we get a break into next week. But the next couple of days, next 24 plus hours, going to be very tough, going from severe weather potential and into snow potential here in the valley. So stay tuned. We'll be right here for you, keeping you updated on valleynewslive.com, on all of our TV stations on Valley News Live, and you can always download the VNL Weather app for the latest radar and information there too. You can download that in the App Store.